This is the human side of the story. It's June 10th, Neil, and 4 days from today would be the waiting is over.
Yes.
But this has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
So we're going to spin the Wayback Machine here to April 9th of 1980, Game 2 of the preliminary round series between the Whalers and the Canadiens at the Montreal Forum. And in the third period of an 8-4 Whalers loss, Gordie Howe scores his last ever goal in the Forum on a pass from Mark Howe, his son. Gordie backhands a shot in from about 40 feet that hits a Canadiens defenseman, goes in past Denny Herron, who is the Habs goalie. It was a shot that even the cameras did not pick up because he was so high in that left wing circle when he let that backhander in. Nonetheless, he is credited with the goal. And the box score says Gordie Howe from Mark Howe, 13:59 of the third period. But that's not all there is to this story, because if you go back and look at the video, Mark Howe receives the puck on a clear pass going around the back of the net from goaltender John Garrett. And for years, Garrett had looked to get this assist added on to the score sheet. And he didn't obviously challenge this immediately because after all, he did give up 8 goals in the game. But over the years, this became more and more significant, and Garrett became more and more adamant about wanting to have his assist attached to Gordie Howe's last goal. And the lobbying for this even went back to 2013 when the fans were campaigning with a "Give It to Cheech" hashtag, and Cheech was John Garrett's nickname. And still, the assist had never been awarded. And finally, during the second intermission of Game 2, Garrett was advised by Sportsnet host Ron McLean that the league will add this assist to the record just 16,494 days later. 45 years, 1 month, 28 days.
Amazing. Great story. What a great story. I know John Garrett. He actually was our goalie coach one year for the Rangers, and a great color man for the Canucks for many years. And well, good for him. I mean, I'd want it too if it was me. I mean, things mean more to you as life goes on than they do at the time. At the time, or within the 5 years after that, you're like, oh, well, you know, no big deal. But then all of a sudden you get to a certain age and it is a big deal. You want everything that you poo-pooed earlier in life.
I checked NHL.com and Hockey Reference, and as of this morning, that assist is still not in there. So if anybody from the league or Hockey Reference is listening, add it in there because it is now official. But there's a little bit more to the story, because 2 years and 4 months earlier, December of 1977, Gordie Howe scored his 1,000th professional goal. This included the NHL, the WHA, regular season, and playoffs. And he scored his 1,000th goal in, of all places, Birmingham, Alabama.
Wow. Birmingham Bulls.
Birmingham Bulls. You know who the goalie was?
No.
John Garrett.
There you go. So we go full circle.
We go full circle. Speaking of Gordie, do you have a favorite Gordie Howe story? Because I'm sure that you had met him on many occasions.
Well, my favorite Gordie Howe story is lining up at Eaton's in the Don Mills shopping plaza. Eaton's was a department store well known in Canada, a department store chain throughout Canada, named after the Eaton family. That was a very wealthy, rich family in Canada. Gordie Howe was there signing autographs And I think selling his book was called Hockey Here's How, Howe, with his two sons, of course, on the Rooster Tails on the ice with him on the cover. And I got to meet Gordie Howe as, gosh knows how old I was, 7, 8, 9 at that time. So that's my favorite story because, at that time, it's not reality. These are just mega stars to you as a little kid.
I was fortunate enough to actually work with Gordie Howe. And when I had left ESPN in 1990, I went to a startup outfit, which turns out didn't last very long, called Sports News Network down in Roslyn, Virginia. And part of that group drawing me out of ESPN was saying that you would get to work with Gordie Howe. And indeed I did. And I had the opportunity to field produce, but also work with him in the studio and kind of help him along with some of the little finer points of adapting to sitting on a set and being on television. When he would fly in, I would pick him up at the airport, and he actually called me coach. If
Pretty
you can
good.
imagine that. Yeah. And Gordie also worked a few games, 3 games to be exact, in Boston Garden during the Oilers-Bruins final that year. And I worked with him on that. And even in our video open, the photo of me and Gordie standing on the ice pretending to hold sticks is there. And it is a photo that I still hold very dear to me as my career has evolved. And of course, now I'm here with you on this podcast.
Oh, God, have you ever fallen? Imagine at one time with Gordie Howe, now stuck with me. As we said the other day, now you're with the Rain Man and you're the Brain Man.
And that will close our show for today. No better way to do it.
Thanks for joining us on the NHL Wraparound podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all the NHL action.